every professional must have a priority. I picked that point already. So with all of this, so how during you say you work more in the night, how do you generate new ideas to solve problems? And you also talk about writing down, which is like setting.
Unfortunately,
when you are into that paper's work, what is the now?
Sorry, Benson, I didn't get that question because the line was breaking. So if you can repeat it.
You hear me clearly, ma'am?
Can you repeat it, please? I didn't get that.
Okay, I'm trying to do that already. Our network is okay. I'm sure it's better now.
Yes.
I was trying to live stream the program to the Facebook and YouTube platform. So I think that is what checked the network. Okay, so you made mention of setting the goals for the day, which is a way of capturing your day in a paper. So I said, how do you generate ideas to solve complex problems when you are working on that paper? And what is the importance of goal in your journey up till now? This is basically because most of young boys and ladies today, they just jump into their day. So how do you plan your day in a paper? What is the importance of goal in your journey so far? How do you generate idea to solve complex problems for you to be able to grow at the corporate ladder up to where you are today?
Okay, you've asked like 3 questions in one. So I'll take them one by one. Now, the first one is, how do I generate ideas? How do I generate ideas? Ideas come when you seek for knowledge. Ideas come as you observe good things around you. But above all of that, ideas come. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian, and everything I do is centered around God. I don't joke with the God factor in my life at all. Ideas come by inspiration of the Holy Spirit. For me, sometimes when I'm in the shower, I get a lot of ideas. Sometimes when I'm in the car, I get a lot of ideas. But you see, things pour up ideas. Like I said, your quest for knowledge, when you pay attention to things around you, ideas come. It's not when, for me, it's not when I sit down and start planning my day that ideas come. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I may not even be holding pen and paper when ideas come, you know, then you just put it down. Now, you mentioned the role of goals. Goals in being able to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. It's important to set goals. If you do not set goals, a lot of distractions will come your way, and you would be scattered. It's important to set achievable goals and be focused. Set your eyes on these goals and work towards achieving these goals, because these are things that will make you, that will ensure that you are moving, and that
maybe better if I go upstairs.
These are things that will ensure that you are moving forward and that you are actually not wasting time. So it's very, very important in life, in your career, to set achievable goals and work towards making them happen. I don't know if that answers your question. I can't hear you anymore.
Yes, I can hear you. I am with you, ma.
Okay.
Yes. That answers the questions. I believe people at the end, you are getting something. If you are coming to an occasion like this, you need to have a notebook to write. You see, I begin the journey already. One of my mentors will always say that a man will remain the same way he is today in the next 10 years or 5 years, except for two things: the kind of people he listens to and the kind of books he or she reads. So please, I beg you, my young friends and colleagues, the others who are on this platform today, for you to type down or write something down from the word of experience being shared. There is a topic for today. We're going to dive in there. But before we do that, let me just mention it briefly. The topic today is bridging the gap between the school and the labor market. I guess we can have a content that she's going to share on that. But before we dive into that, a few years ago, I was, will I say, working or served somewhere in Magodo here, and two young people returned from university during the longer industrial action like is happening today. So when they got to Lagos, one of them said, I don't know what to do, just to sit down. And for the 3 months of the industrial action, she actually sat at home, eat bread, drink tea, and sleep. But the other guy, immediately he got to the city, he just carried his paper and he joined the road. And he found an engineering organization that was looking for people to work in a factory. And he was engaged. Before he left for school, 30,000 salary for 3 months gave him 90,000, and his uncle gave him something similar to that. And he has time 2 of the money he was going back to school. I'm talking of live example. It's not the same. It's the house I stayed. So we have many young people coming out of university into the labor market. They are as blunt as a baby coming out of his mother's womb. Ma, what will you say to these young categories of people? What should be their expectation as they are walking out from school into the labor market, your own, for you to grow this far in a multinational organization? What is your advice to these young people? What can they track? How can they strategically position themselves?
Thank you very much. Transitioning from school to the labor market. I like the story that you shared with us. Those two guys, one was focused. He was ready to pay the price for greatness. The other one had no clue at all. The other one had no clue at all. And that is where goal setting also comes in here. For people just leaving school, a young person must have a vision of where he or she wants to be. I've gone to school. What do I want to do with all that I have learned in school? All the time that I've spent in school? I'm sure, you know, people go to school and they want to come out, they want to work in a place, they want to be better off. That's why they made the investments and the investment of time and resources to go to school in the first place. So goal setting is very important. Number one, you set your goal. You believe in yourself. You believe you can be great and that there is nothing that will stop you. There may be challenges because of the day and the age that we are in right now, but you have to believe in yourself and trust that. I go back to the God factor again, that with God on your side, you will break through, irrespective of the challenges that may come your way. That is that. You have to be ready. You have to be ready to work very hard. You have to be focused. There's a lot of distraction out there. You have to be focused. I usually tell young people, the first contact that any employer would have with you is your CV. Make sure your CV is properly written. Make sure when you write that CV, you use very good font. Make sure that somebody would like to read it. It will be, it's not all jumbled up together. Be in the right company, right environment. Associate yourself with people that are going somewhere so that they will be able to give you ideas of where there are opportunities. Ensure that you are focused. So, these are things that a young person should have in mind. But then, there may be somebody on this call that may say, well, I have done all of these things. My CV is properly written. I am focused. I know where I want to get to. But still, I have tried all these things that you're saying and still, I haven't been able to land a proper job. There, I would say, don't give up on yourself. Find something doing. No matter, it may not be what the exact thing that you desire to do. Maybe you went to school to study engineering. You've not been able to land a job in engineering. Find something to do, even if they are not going to pay you. Volunteer. Go to a place a place where where you have engineers and all of that, and volunteer. In the process, somebody will identify you. In the process, opportunities will open up to you. Until you find a job where you will be adequately paid. Make sure you are doing something. Make sure you are moving. You keep on moving. Learn a skill. Learn something. Make sure you keep on learning until you're able to land the kind of job that you desire. Should I take a break there?
A break is accepted, and a continual flow of inspiration is accepted, man. Thank you very dearly. I hope someone is learning and you are writing something. People is getting full already. Thank you very much, man. People are learning. Everybody is eager. You are most welcome. We're having a live conversation on the topic, bridging the gap between the labor market or between the school and the labor market. And we have in the house a very important personality. If the people out there who are missing this event knows what they are missing, they wouldn't have missed it. But thank God there is a record that they will later come to be part of. So that will not be a big problem anymore. So I want to throw this in addition to before we allow you to go to your content, as a career person, I have worked for just a period of 5 days plus or so. I know what is called corporate challenges, and you have been through many of them, I am very sure. From when you start at the entry level, mid-manager, to the level you are today. What will you consider the most challenging moment on your journey? I mean corporate journey. How do you tackle it? What are the 3 major lessons, or what are some major lessons you draw from there to help young people avoid those kind of mistakes or falling into those kind of mistakes or challenges on their journey?
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a while now, and I have had to cross quite a few hurdles. I would like to drop this first because it's one of the challenges that I faced at the early stage. I always kept to myself. I thought I could do things on my own. When you get to the workplace, you cannot say, well, I will work hard, and just by working hard, you make a headway. It doesn't work like that. You have to work with people in a team. You have to identify that you have something to offer others and you have things to gain from other people. Also, you have to make yourself visible. There was something that I did at the early stage that if I have the opportunity to go back, I will do better. I would say, well, I will work hard. I will put in as many hours as I can, and that will get me to the top. Hard work is very good, but then you have to be visible. You cannot sit in your corner and be doing all the technical, all the hard work alone in your corner. You have to.
Sorry for the interruption. I'm taking care of that.
You have to seek for responsibilities that will make you visible. Responsibilities that will make those in authority to identify you. Because if you just sit in your corner and you're working hard, everybody will be giving you, in quotes, the dirty work to do. You will do it, they will use it, and they will appear out there to be the one that has dirtied their hands. So as you are dirtying your hand, you are doing all the technical bits, you have to be bold enough to also step out. You have to be bold enough to
sorry for that, man.
No problem. You have to be bold enough.
Waiting for now.
You have to be bold enough to also step out. When you step out, your giftings will show. The people that will want to help you will see the areas where you are lacking. When other opportunities arise, they will say, oh, that young man, that young lady can do it. She tried the other time. Oh, he tried the other time. Do you understand? So that was a mistake I made at the early stage. I will just sit in a corner and be saying, I will do my work, I will do my work. And I was putting in a lot of effort. I was churning out quality work, but nobody knew me. Nobody knew me. I mean, when I said nobody, people who mattered in the organization, who could lend their voice and speak for you, they didn't know me. And people who are not that senior to me will take the work you know, and blow it up out there, nobody will ask them who did it. So now I tell young people, as you are doing the dirty work, in quote, you're doing all the groundwork, the technical work. Seek opportunities to also stand out there and say, oh, yes, I will be willing to, if there's an opportunity, I will be willing to make that presentation. I will be willing to deliver this report, you know. So things like that, it will push you forward. It will make those who matter in the organization to identify your giftings, to identify what you have. Those who will help you will step out and say, oh, this guy has a lot of potentials. Let's help him. Let's push him forward the more. And by that, it will be growing and growing and growing. Now, as I continued to grow, when I got to mid-level management, I had a challenge with politics. Politics in the business place, in the corporate setting. I am a one-way person. I don't know how to engage in politics. I will just say it just as it is. And I had to learn how to be tactful. I had to learn how to deal with that as much as possible, because I knew that I am not good with politics. I stay out of politics as much as possible. I don't get myself involved in politics. I ensure that I'm objective as much as possible, and everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. So, I mean, from my own experience, some people thrive with politics, but it's not my own thing. I stay as objective as much as possible. Let's deal with the issues. I focus on the issues. I take out sentiments and emotions and deal with the issues. As I climbed the ladder, I realized that that thing is always still there. It's a big challenge. I'll tell you a story. There was a particular issue we're dealing with on a particular board. And there's this board member who was always very, very, very vocal and would use words that would write emails that will provoke you and all of that. A small issue will be blown up so much in an email that when you read the email, you want to pick your phone and give the person back immediately. But I learned that when such things happen and people provoke you, read the documents very well, bring out the main crux of the matter, bring out the main issue. The main issue may not be more than one line or two sentences. Discard all the emotions and the sentiments wrapped around the main issue and give answer directly to the main issue and step back. And I realized that successful people, that is what they do. The chairman of one of the boards that I sit on, I actually learned it from the chairman of that board. Very experienced man. He will take out, as everybody's dropping their own on the table, he will always bring us back to the main issue and say, this is the crux of the matter. Can we go back to the crux of the matter? And that has really helped me. Not to get involved, not to be entangled in emotions, sentiments, but to deal with the issues on the table. As long as, and I've learned that as long as I focus on what matters and pertains to the business, it makes life easy and you'll be able to cross challenges. So that's about it. That's about it, at least for now.
Oh my God. Thank you very much, ma. That was deep, but we are not getting out of there yet. And let me share an example. I remember some times ago, when I was still young, I think 1 year plus into the work, I actually have a physical fracas with one of my colleagues. And when that thing was happening, the GM of the organization was in the office. He was watching the drama from his office. In fact, I actually reported to him earlier that this is what is happening, and he didn't say anything. He expected that the other guy would physically maybe mess me up, which was somehow not possible, but we have a physical fracas. So the next morning, the case was reported to the MDCO, and we were called into the meeting in the MD's office, and everything was said. I know where he's going. I was going to either land a query, or I'm going to land, the two of us are going to land a suspension. If I close my mouth, I will receive that punishment. But I opened my mouth and I said, sir, when this incident began, I went to the GM to tell him that this person is looking for my problem, or is looking for issues behind my table. I said, what did you say when I made that report to you? And the MD turned and said, what did you say when he made the report to you? In fact, the question he asked is, did he really report to you? He said, yes. What did you do to it? That was the end of that matter. I was not punished. I was not nothing. It was later the MD addressed it, even though it went off, but I don't want that to be again. So what am I trying to bring up? When we talk about being vocal here, some people are just me and themselves. They don't talk. Even when someone is about to choke life out of them, they will gum the mouth. Some will do work, and someone else will take the glory. They won't speak. They won't write. If you are not the type that is vocal in organization, you can use the power of Biro to write. But before I leave this, how do you manage changes? Because in relation to this issue of being vocal is the issue of changes in an organization. Suddenly, the management will just remove someone, bring in a new person, or maybe 3 or 4 leaders at the same time, and those people come from maybe a different background, and they just bring a new thing that is already there. It becomes difficult for you to bear or to understand yourself. How do you adapt to changes without putting on unnecessary resistance and then blend into it or capitalize on it for your growth?
You see, if new people come into the organization, it's not about these people, it's about the organization. You have to be open-minded. You have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to also share what you know. Be willing to work together with these people to achieve the goals of the organization. Bear in mind that it is not about any one of you. It is about the organization. So you're going to be working together to ensure that the organization is living. The organization is moving forward. Because that is what binds all of you together in the workplace. So when new people come, seek to know them. Seek to know them. Like I said, be open-minded. What usually happens is because we don't like change, when changes like this occur, without even getting to know the new people that have come in, we already create a bias. We already have a mindset and say, oh, these people, they have come to, you know, which may not be true. Which may not be true. So when changes are made like that and new people come into the organization, be open-minded, accept them, get to know them, what they have to offer, and let them know what you also have to offer. Rub minds to see how the organization will move ahead. You see, there is no tailor-made answer to this question. It's as you go along that you would be able to make decisions as to how things will work. But you must always bear in mind that it is not about you. It is not about any one of them. It is about this company. This company must remain profitable. This company must continue to thrive. And we must do everything that we can do to ensure that we achieve our goals. If that is the focus, you will be able to work together. And that is still talking about taking sentiments out. As long as we're there 9 to 5, we're there 9 to 5 to work now. So take sentiments out. Let's focus on the reason for which we are there.
Okay, thank you very much. But before we go on a break,
we must embrace change. We must embrace change. Change will always come. Embrace change. You never can tell what you're going to learn from those new people. You never can tell how you're going to impact their lives. You must embrace change and deal with all forms of biases.
Embrace change and deal with all manner of biases. Wow. Okay, I hope someone is writing down something. So before we go on a quick break, which we must do, a quick one to this. So coming out of the challenge, be adaptable, and God so kind you're able to grow through the corporate ladder to where you are now. What will you consider as the most satisfying moment of your corporate journey so far?
Satisfying moment. Every time I look back and I see that what I have done has not died, it gives me satisfaction. You work in an organization and you have helped to put in place processes and systems that guide the way things are done in the organization, such that when you are not there, things are working. Such that as people come in and go, things are working. From one generation to the other, things are working. That gives me a lot of satisfaction. It gives me a lot of satisfaction. Let me explain further.
Okay.
What you have done has not died. For instance, I'm in an organization where, let me give you an example, in a startup business, and an organization where things are not properly run. And then I became part of the leadership team. And then we had to start looking at their corporate governance policies. Do they even have corporate governance framework in place? What are their processes like? Is it a one-man show that once somebody just says go, everybody just follows? What if that person is not there tomorrow? Do they consider risk before they do whatever they do? Do they have policies that guide what they do in place? Do they have policies that guide what should be given to employees in place? When employees leave, do they just let them just go like that? Do they compensate them? You know, all those kind of things. So you put all those policies and controls in place such that even if you are not there tomorrow, those policies are guiding the way the organization is run. When I look back and I see that those things are working, it gives me satisfaction. It gives me joy. Because at the end of the day, you would have built a company that is called a living company, a company that will outlive you. You would have given into the future of people that are not even yet there, because you have put in a structure that is enduring. That gives me a lot of satisfaction.
When what you do continue to help people, or you're able to put a system in place that system continue to work.
Yeah.
That gives you satisfaction.
Yes.
Ma, at this level, you are like an entrepreneur at the level you are in your organization already. And this brings me to a question I commonly ask entrepreneurs when we engage them on this platform. There is a documentary or record that we don't have. I want the business people to benefit now, because at your level now, you can advise any business appropriately. Well, there is a documentary, or it's in record. I don't know about that 5 years. I think that was 2020, 2005 or so. It was on record that no organization in Nigeria has lived up to 100 years. What is really the corporate debacle, the corporate challenges, the corporate issues? Why don't we have a lot of organizations that outlive the owners, or the directors, the co-owners, or either the individual owners? What do you think can be done sitting at your citadel today, and you can make any organization transparent with a purview of your wealth of knowledge, business acumen, and what can be done in this regard?
Yeah,
do you see all you have done so far where you are, living for 100 years?
Well, one of it is one of the things that I just mentioned to you, putting structures in place. Yeah, you put the structures in place, and you imbibe a culture where people would ensure that all that you have put in place is not sabotaged. Okay. I spoke about corporate governance, having a good corporate governance framework in place, ensuring that that organization follows, because you can put it in place and it's not followed. Having a structure that checks all these things. For instance, you have, let's look at a one-man business. You own a company. Your wife is also part of the company. Very soon, your children will join. In order for that company to outlive you, you must have a board. All of you may be members of the board, but to ensure that you have checks and balances and somebody can tell you the truth, look for a seasoned, somebody that has been proven and, someone that has been proven in that field or in other fields who has succeeded as an independent non-executive. Bring that person in, not to work day to day in your business, but just to sit on your board, so that that person may tell you the truth, hard truth that you may not want to hear. Independent, he doesn't have a share in your company. He doesn't have anything in your company. He just sits there as an independent non-executive. He would tell you objectively things that you need to hear. Make sure your accounts are audited. Make sure reports are given, are prepared on a regular basis. Make sure you have what is called succession plan in place, so that after you, it doesn't end. Begin to groom people that can step into your shoes as you are growing. Make sure you are not the only person that has the embodiment of knowledge in that place. Put a structure in place so that the next generation can step into your shoes. Build the right corporate structure and culture. Define your purpose, your mission and your vision clearly. And let every member of staff understand what your focus is in that organization. And more importantly, groom the next generation that will take over from you. The reason why many organizations die after the entrepreneur or the owner goes is because there has not been a structure in place where the younger generation are groomed to take over. So once that person goes, that's the end of it. So there must be a good succession plan in place. I'm currently involved with an organization where we have an MD who was the CFO and grew into the position of an MD. He's currently the MD. But right now we're beginning to looked at it. If this man should exit tomorrow, he decides to retire tomorrow, who is capable of stepping into his shoes and ensure that this organization continues to run? We asked ourselves the simple question, and we could not identify that this is the person that could do it. Now we have started the process of ensuring that all the key roles in that organization, that we have people who can step into those roles, who are capable to step into those roles before these key people leave. They have to understudy them. They have to understand the culture of the organization. You cannot just bring an outsider after these people have left. So all those kind of things must always be in place to ensure continuity and sustainability.
Thank you very much. We can't thank you enough. You're an entrepreneur in the house. You need to pay for what Mommy have just said in the last 5 minutes. Get ready to, to pay for it. Thank you very much, Ma. We need to go into a 2-minute break. I believe you want to take a cup of water, and I shall play some advert, and then we shall be back. Thank you so much. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. I could see a question on the chat already. Please keep those questions coming. Our guest speaker is eager and ready to attend to each and every one of them. Keep your questions coming. And right about now, I just want to say a very big appreciation to our sponsors, organizations, an individual, like I say, we have in no particular order. These are the organizations that this is not showing. I need to just spotlight this thing quickly. My screen is rather blank. I don't know what happened there. Okay. Find a way around that now. I want to appreciate sponsors, organization for always being there, for what they do for us, for making it possible for us to have this event. We appreciate OLUGBEMI Media. OLUGBEMI Media is into indoor and outdoor advertising. We have Rodin Health Limited, which is into HMO. We have Femimat Limited, which is into medical supplies and maintenance. Medical equipment. And then I talk about Personal Health and Beauty, which is into beauty and accessory. We also have Making the Eagle, which is a mentoring organization to help connect young people with matured minds who could help them establish themselves in the industry or business world. We have Folium Limited, which is into computer and accessories. We have a Fulcam Fashion House, which is into fashion design and mentor young people to be established in the fashion industry, located proudly at number 15B Shangisha Magodo here. That is 15B Kasimu Street. If you're a young person here and you're thinking of where to engage yourself for a fashion business, that is a place to be. And we have BTN, which is Biofire Technology Nigeria Limited. That organization is in the business of converting waste into energy that supply electricity 24/7 uninterrupted. I want to thank you to all of you, sisters. Make yourself available in resources, in persons, to advise us and to make success a lesson to humanity. The vision is that in the next few years, there will be a program where people will fly in from the world to come and become part of the physical Success Bread event. We're getting to a time where a Success Bread seminar will be held in the largest stadium in the country and have people full blow within and outside. That is where we are going. Why are we convinced? We are not convinced because when man, he will become a better man. And when he becomes a better man, he will bring another person to the world to drink from the water of life. Thank you so much, each and every one of you who are listening to us this morning. I hope you are learning something. This morning, we are privileged. This is Fadeke OLUGBEMI, a pastor, a teacher, a mother, a captain of industry, very, very highly motivated individual. I could refer to her as a pragmatic. If you listen to her carry microphone, you know this is someone who is deep with wealth of knowledge. Then I'm fresh. A wise man once said, a day with a wise man is better than 10 years of formal education. There is a nugget today that if you listen carefully and pick it, you will become a corporate juggernaut in days to come. Stay put as we resume and bring her on board once again as she talk about the main content of this teaching before we'll be drawing the curtain this morning. The statement of the problem is many young people come out of the university, what we call school, into the labor market. Some of them are as blunt as babies coming into the air. Some people know that something called a corporate politics. Some of them don't even know there's something called corporate culture. Some don't even know there's something called teamwork, where when you get into an organization, you need to bury your ego, you need to bury your me, I, and myself. Some of them don't even know there's something called etiquette in an organization. Some of them don't even know there's something called writing application letter before you can be secured into an organization. Some of them don't even know there's something called mentorship. Some of them don't even know there is something about growing in the corporate from the entry level, mid-manager, high-level manager, before you could be at the level of the top managers, etc., before you could talk about retiring and so on. These are the statements of the problem. Many young people are just, some even when they come in for interview, they look like young people looking for someone to fit them. The level of self-esteem of many young people diminishes. Some of them, they're working as helpless as anything. I see them when they come for interview. How help these people? Through the content of today, which is bridging the gap between school and labor market. The people are eager to hear your content on this. You are a co-host. If you want to share a content, please, you have a right to do that, man. The people are eager and they want to hear more. Thank you all. Don't go anywhere. If you have a young person who needs to hear this, this is your opportunity to chat him or her with the link and get him or her in the Zoom immediately. Thank you, Ma. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So we're talking here, your question has to do with employability. You've mentioned some gaps. So somebody leaves school and he's presenting himself for employment. Earlier on, we spoke about putting your CV together, but it goes beyond putting your CV together. There's a lot of work that has to be done in you. Right from school, you have to ensure that you have good grades, because there's a lot of competition out there now, a lot of competition. When you see bags that they put CVs in, they first of all begin to sieve. They will look for first class. You see first class, there's a loads of them, 2-1. They may not even go to 2-2 at all. So from school, you must be so focused and come out with very good grades, because there's a lot of competition out there. We spoke about writing your CV, write it in such a way that a busy person flipping through it will quickly get all the points that need to be put forward. You need to have a clarity of focus. Clarity of focus. What exactly am I looking for? What exactly do I want to do? Settle this in your mind. Internalize it, because it's going to help you when you stand in front of anybody for interview. Settle it. This is what I want. If you're not sure what you want, That is where the role of a mentor comes in. Look for people you admire, people who have done well. Look for them, put up the right attitude, approach them. If you cannot get to them physically, you can write to them and, ask questions and let them guide you as to all that you need to do, because there's some things that will not be taught in school. All these soft skills are unfortunately not taught in our schools, in Nigerian schools. So have a clarity of focus. Who do I want to be? What am I looking for? Where exactly am I going? It's not that I just want a job. Just give me a job. No. What exactly do you want? Be ambitious. Be ambitious. Don't be laid back. Get up and be ambitious. Also seek general knowledge. Don't just be aware, know what is going on around you, because usually when somebody who has just left school goes for interview, they know that you have just left school. They may not ask you really, really deep technical questions. They just want to know that you have the potential for growth. They just want to know that you carry a potential that, when you are trained, you will thrive. So be aware of what is going on around you. General knowledge, what is going on in your state, what is going on in your community, what is going on in your country, what is going on around the world, and how it's going to impact you as somebody who wants to start working, and how it's going to impact the industry or the organization that you are seeking to work in. Your communication skills, that one is very, very important. They may not teach you in school, but you have to groom yourself in that area. You have to do extra work to groom yourself. Fortunately, there are so many free online courses now. There are so many free things you can watch on YouTube. So you have to groom yourself. Wherever you find yourself, look for opportunities to communicate, to speak. I must tell you, that's one area that almost worked against me when I started my career. Those who had very good communication skills were moving ahead quickly because they could communicate very well. It's not about speaking English alone. It's about you being articulate and expressing yourself in a manner that people would understand you and will be able to flow with you easily. So you have to brush up your communication skill. That is very, very key. You have to be confident. Whatever it is that will want to pull you down and say you are nobody, you have to fight it because you are somebody. You are on a journey. You are going somewhere. And so you must fight whatever it is that may want to tell you that you are nobody. You must think big. You may not be there now, but that does not mean you're not going to get there. If you look at the story of people who are very, very successful, many of them, they have a story to tell. They didn't make it in one day. They failed many times. People told them they couldn't get there, but they did not give up. They kept on trying. They kept on trying. And I would like to chip this in at this point. Don't stay around people who tolerate you. A woman of God said it many years ago, and I held on to it. Don't stay around people who tolerate you. Stay around people who celebrate you because they will help to bring out the best in you. They will also help to boost your confidence level. But even if people around you don't help you with your confidence level, help yourself because it's your life. Stay and meditate on your strength and speak to yourself. I can do this, I can do this, I can do that. And if you are a child of God, if you are a child of God, sorry?
Sorry for interruption. You just mentioned a nugget.
I just mentioned.
You say even if no one push you you should push yourself. It's your life.
It is your life.
Please, we want to emphasize that again, ma'am.
It is your life. Because the people that are looking at you now and they want to bring you down now, the moment you get up there, they want to identify with you. So, for the mere fact that you are not where you want to be now does not mean that you are rubbish. You are not. Build your confidence level. For me, I get my source of strength from the word of God. That is where I start first. And then I add knowledge. I realize that when you are knowledgeable, it gives you confidence in your field, in things around you. Seek for knowledge, pursue knowledge, be knowledgeable, and speak to yourself every now and then. Talk to yourself. Talk to yourself. There was a time I was working somewhere and the atmosphere there was so tense that my self-confidence was almost eroded. I would stand in front of the mirror and talk to myself and say, well, that is what they think. Ofadeke, this is who you are. This is what you can do. I will recount the things I have done in the past, areas where I have done well in the past, remind myself and say, it is not now that I will now become somebody who doesn't know how to do things anymore. So, I mean, encourage yourself and build your self-confidence. I've said it, understand the industry and the organization where you want to work in. First for knowledge, continue to learn, unlearn and relearn, and be aware. While you are waiting to get employed, I mentioned it earlier on, volunteer to do things. In the process, doors will open to you. You can take on a lower paid job until you get to where you want to be. What that does for you is that you are not idle. You will keep on learning. It may not be the kind of salary you want or the kind of pay you want, but you will eventually get the kind of pay you want. You are not idle. And you are broadening your network base because you will keep on meeting people every day. You can take up a lower paid job while you are searching for the one you desire, and you keep learning in the process. You keep on reading, you keep on acquiring knowledge and skills. I want you to also note the place of hard work, having a mentor, being in the right company, and doing what is right. There is a principle that has always been my guide. And that principle is found in the Word of God. That scripture that talks about whatever you do as unto the Lord. You do so that God will be glorified. I think it's found in Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do as unto the Lord, not as unto any man. Because at the end of the day, from my own journey in life, I see that it's God that promotes. And when God promotes you, He will use men. When God touches the heart of a man to do something for you, they will have no choice but to do it. Your hard work will show, but God is the one that promotes. Whatever you do in your place of work or wherever you are, where you are volunteering or you're learning a skill or whatever, do as unto the Lord. It's a seed you're putting in the ground. And God who sees in secret, He will reward you openly. It's a principle I have worked with all my life. All my life. And whatever a man sows, that is what he will reap. The law of sowing and reaping. So make sure you're doing the right things. Make sure, even if nobody sees you, you are not cutting corners. You're doing the right things. You will be known for your integrity and your honesty, and it pays. It pays. People who know you for your honesty and your integrity will recommend you for high positions. That's the way it works. If you're honest in small things, then there'll be room for big things. There's a scripture that says that if you are not faithful in another man's thing, who will give you your own? That's a principle I have worked with all my life. If you're faithful in little, then doors will open to you for big. But if you are not faithful in another man's thing or the little that is committed in your hands, who will give you a big thing? Nobody. So let that be at the back of your mind. Wherever I find myself working, I work as if it is my business. I am the owner of the business. That is the way I've always operated. And it will shock you that people notice things. You will just realize that they just recommend you for things. They just say, oh, I know somebody. They're headhunting. I say, I know somebody who can do the job. This person can do it. That person can do it. So while you're waiting, or while you're waiting to get to where you want to be, have all these things at the back of your mind. Keep on developing yourself. Keep on all these free courses that are available now. Coursera is a place where you can, sign up and take some free courses, build up yourself for opportunities that will open to you. And as you step into it, they will say you are successful, but you have been doing a lot of work at the background. So that's it. Maybe your question will bring out something else. For you to stay employable, for you to stay attractive to would-be employers out there. And these days of having many streams of income, you can learn new skills. Learn new skills. I was joking with somebody recently. I say everywhere I turn now, I see they're saying that come and learn how to code. They're even teaching kids how to code. I was telling my husband recently, I said, I'm going to go and learn how to code. It's just be hungry for more. Be hungry for knowledge. Be hungry for more. Don't box yourself up. Learn, keep on learning, keep on learning, keep on learning, and you will arrive safely. Benson?
Keep on learning. Learn, learn and unlearn. If you are working in an organization for 1 year and you have not read a book about that industry, then you are doing yourself a great disservice. Thank you very much, ma'am.
I mean, talking about you're in a company, you have not read about the industry. There are also, your profession, there are professional exams professional qualifications that may be required. Make sure you take these professional exams. It has a way of boosting your confidence
level
and boosting your confidence and making you attractive to would-be employers. I will tell you a story. Sorry, I'm trying to get my in power.
Okay, ma'am.
I'll tell you a story. When I was writing my professional exam as an accountant, In those days when you write ICANN, if you fail one, you fail all. Those days we used to write 4 papers. So if you fail one, you will have to rewrite all the 4 papers. It's not like today when you can do 2, you know. And at some point, I mean, as I had some challenge, life happened. I had some challenges along the line, and I was just fed up with life. I was just fed up with everything. And I said, well, writing professional exams is not my major issue right now. I wanted to put it aside. And I walked into my boss's office one day, and he asked me about my exams. I was writing the final stage then, and I wanted to pack it up. And he said to me, how far with your professional exams? I said, well, it's not my priority for now. Too many things are going on in my life. I don't think I want to continue. And he said to me, I see the kind of work you do, and I know that you can make it. I know the quality of things that you churn out. I know you can make it. As he was talking that day, I was close to tears. I turned, I didn't want him to see that I was tearing up. And I left his office that day because this man has a very high standard. Before you can please him on the job, you would walk. Oh. I got back to my office that day. I locked my door. I wept. And I said to God, God, I really want to do this. Give me the strength. But there are a lot of things going on in my life. Anyway, to cut the long story short, I decided to continue writing the exams. Today, I look back and I keep on thanking God that I didn't give up. Today, I look back and opportunities that have come up, if I didn't have that qualification, I may not have been able to step into some rooms. So if there are professional qualifications tied to your field, enroll. No matter what happens, make sure you pull through. Those exams, when you qualify, will open doors for you one way or the other. It will also boost your confidence level. So make sure you pursue it and see it through, irrespective of whatever challenge may be your way. It may be money, it may be time, whatever it is, cross every hurdle. Cross every hurdle. And don't give up until you achieve your goal.
Thank you, Ma. If you need to rest, rest, but don't give up until you achieve your goal.
Don't give up.
And it reminds me of something you said again. If you empty your pocket to feed your head, someday your head will feed your pocket. Thank you, Ma. So your last point also talks about mentorship. And there is a question on the chat board that also say, I'm going to put those two together. There's a question on the chat board that says, thank you, Ma, for the wealth of experience you are sharing with us. But my question is, how do you ensure your next successor has the same zeal, perseverance, and passion to push your company forward as yourself, knowing fully well this generation are only looking for quick or shortcut to get to the peak financially? Why you address this, man, in relation to the push you just have from someone that make you to do a program? Relate this to the place of mentorship in your personal life and why young people should submit themselves for mentorship.
Thank you very much. To address that question, your the way you will be able to say that you have succeeded in finding a successor is when you have found somebody suitable for the position. The person may not really want to carry on with your vision 100%. There may be a modification to the way the organization is going to run. Maybe the organization will evolve to do other things because of the way the world is going. But that individual must have the right attitude. That individual must have the mindset that this company must outlive him too. That individual must have the right attitude, not somebody who just wants to go there and just make quick money, siphon what he can siphon, and leave the organization empty. That individual must also have a mindset that says we must leave this organization better than how we met it to the next generation. That individual must also be thinking in terms of generations. That person may not even be your child. So oftentimes you want your children to succeed. I mean, to succeed you, to be your successor. But if your children are not ready, build a system where you have people who can carry on the vision. Somebody just gave an example of Coca-Cola on this chart. You have an example of Cadbury of this world. The Cadbury, it's a family that started that business. I'm not sure they're still the ones carrying on today. And that business has been on for years and years and years. So it doesn't have to be your blood. Build a system where people who can carry on the vision, who can make the business continue to evolve, will come in. Read case studies of organizations that have lived for many years and see how these things are done. So that's what I'm going to say. If somebody wants to take over and that person just wants to make fast money and get out, then that person is not the suitable candidate for that position, even if that person is your child. That child is not suitable for that position. That is that. The place of mentorship. Mentorship is very, very key in growth, especially your professional growth. Mentorship is very, 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 very key. That was something I personally didn't identify on time. But thank God, along the line, I got to realize that I needed a mentor. Because a mentor, you will ride on the shoulders of a mentor. The mistakes that your mentor made, your mentor will quickly point your attention to it so that you don't make the same mistake. You know, and a mentor would guide you in the right path. It's very, very important to have a mentor. And know this, you cannot expect the mentor to be pursuing you. That's what I've noticed with young people today. You have a mentor and you want the mentor to be calling you every now and then. How are you doing? No, you're the one that will pursue your mentor. Because your mentor's hands are full. You may be many that person is mentoring. So you have to be the one, following the mentor. And you can have mentors that you don't even see physically, but you follow them through their books, through their presentations, here and there. I have mentors that I don't even see physically. I read their books, or I follow their teachings or their presentations online, and I just follow their lives and their achievements and what they have done. So the place of mentorship is very, very key. The place of mentorship is also important in having a successor take over from you and carrying on the vision of the business. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. I have listened to you on several platforms, and you have wealth of knowledge that this generation and generation yet unborn will benefit from. And while I ask these questions, I think I feel free to just have a look of our sponsors. I think that has caught up. So I've listened to you on several platforms with wealth of knowledge and everything. You have read a lot of books. You have journeyed through corporate world, a personal life. You might have had one challenges that check you, give you a lot of fears, and you were able to overcome and stand tall today. If you are writing a book today about yourself, because of all the books I have read, I noticed that biography or autobiography tend to have a lot of powers. If you are to write a book today about your journey so far on the surface of the earth, how will you title it?
How will I title it? Two words are going to be, I don't know what the title will be, but these two words would have to show in the title of the book. Because my journey has been a journey of grace into destiny. It must have those two words, grace and destiny. I have enjoyed the grace of God so much. I have had twists and turns along my journey, but I have seen the grace of God at work at every twist and turn. So it would have the word grace and destiny.
Is there a particular one you want to share apart from the one you have shared so far? Either personal, corporate, or either way?
I'm thinking.
In particular instance that you are really afraid, fearful, and the challenge was the complexity of that time was like, oh my God. And you're able to come out of it.
Okay, let me share one with you. This was when I was made the pioneer CFO of a telecoms company. I was the CFO of the Nigerian office and the London office. So I was always shuttling between here and London. So you know, a pioneer company, when you work in a pioneer company, I mean, a startup, you have to dirty your hands. There were no structures in place. Startup, you're just starting. So it was very challenging in the sense that I had always worked in a structured environment where before then I was head of finance and treasury somewhere, and there was structure on ground. But now coming from a place where you have proper structure to a place where you don't even have structure at all, that means you had to recruit. So before recruiting, I had to do all the work by myself before even getting a recruitment agency to recruit for us and getting the right people. Getting the right people was even another wahala on its own. And the company was running at a very fast pace, very, very fast pace. And I wasn't seated in a place. I was shuttling 2 weeks in Nigeria, 2 weeks in London, 2 weeks in Nigeria, 2 weeks in London. So at some point, it almost became a mess. It almost became a mess because you had to be rendering accounts. The organization had to continue running. I will tell you, at that time, I would leave my house at 4:30 a.m. or 5 a.m. so that I would get to the office well before everybody, and I would have done some work before everybody came to the office. And I would be the last person to go home. I may leave the office at 10 p.m. And when I get home, I will continue working. I may work all night till the following morning again before going to the office. It was that bad. It was very, very challenging. But in all of the challenges, we were able to put a structure in place at the end of the day. There were 3 companies in one in that organization. You had the section that dealt with wholesale. We had the one with retail, and then the care, repairs of telephone accessories and devices. There were 3 different companies all in one. At the end of the day, I was able to, with the help of my team, set up a proper structure for the wholesale business, the retail business, and the care business. They had their own accounting structure, and they were able to run and churn out reports as required. At some point, I almost gave up. At some point, I almost gave up. Also because I felt that the English people I was working with then were racists. So I almost gave up. In the London office, I was the only Black. So you will walk into the office and they wouldn't cooperate with you. They couldn't understand why a Black person will come and take on that role. There were times I would be walking on the street of London and I would be crying. I would be walking on the street of London, I would be crying. And people in Nigeria will say, she's shuttling between Nigeria and London, she's enjoying. They didn't know what I was going through. The accounting software that organization was using, because they started the company in London, the accounting software that organization was using, I had to learn by myself. The company that installed it gave me a training for 2 days. That was what was organized for me, just 2 days training. And I had to get on it and find my way around it before I could, recruit people to start doing the work and all of that. So it was very challenging, very, very challenging. I would go back to my hotel room, start fiddling around to make sure that, I understood the things that I'd been keyed in, how to maneuver my way around, But at the end of the day, we were able to put structures in place. And the MD he didn't make it easy for me because he put forward a British. But the owners of the majority owners of the company said, this is the person we want. So it wasn't easy. It was a very, very difficult time. I will be walking on the road. I will be crying. I will get back to my hotel room. I'll be like, God, help me here. But at the end of the day, a structure was put in place. The organization was able to run. I would tell you, every time I look back, the experience, I worked in that organization for 3 years. The experience I had in 3 years was tough, but it prepared me for where I am now. I have a friend, a colleague that we worked there together. She was an executive director then. I was the CFO. Every time we sit down and we talk about our experience, there's no time we don't mention our experience in that company and what we saw. Racism. It was there that I told you that my confidence was almost eroded, and the challenge of stressing yourself, working all around the clock just to ensure, because I had to prove that this Black person that was put there can do the work. So that even made it more challenging. But like I always say, I always go back to the God factor. I would always go back to God to draw strength and to keep on going. And I thank God that things didn't collapse. So that's one challenge that I faced, but it helped me. All the experiences I had there has positioned me. The things that I did then, there was a day I wrote an email to the MD because the MD came to Nigeria, and the following day I got to the office and they said he had gone back to London. How would my MD not tell me he was traveling? And he told the other white guys in the office that he was traveling. So I sent him an email and I said he discriminated. And he took on that word discrimination and said, I had to explain it. I said to him, it is just what it is. Why would you tell my other colleagues you were traveling and you didn't tell me because I'm Black? So he was trying to defend himself that he wasn't a racist, you know? So because of that, when I needed to be promoted, I was not promoted. He was promoting people who were not as qualified as I am. They were any more than me because they had white skin. So, I mean, it was a challenging period, but I left and I got compensated. And God, that experience, I couldn't have read all the things I experienced in that organization in a book. And, you know, it prepared me for where I am now. Prepared me for where I am now. I wouldn't write that kind of email to my MD. I wouldn't.
But not better.
I'm wiser now. I wouldn't write that kind of email to. I won't use the word discrimination. I would do it in a better way. You know, I wouldn't take my MD head on because he will sit in a room where decisions will be made about me, where I will not be, and he will say, well, I'm sorry, she's not qualified, even though she's qualified. And the moment he says that, they will say, we can't stop, is the MD. And I won't be there. And he will come out of that meeting and he will laugh with me, but I won't know what he has gone to do inside that place. So, I mean, I learned a lot.
Wow. Well done, ma. Honestly, there is more in you than the world can hear. That is why I have to put it to you now that you owe us a book. When are we expecting it?
It will come.
Sure. We're confident of seeing it very, very soon.
Thank you.
When you go through a challenge that was meant to break you and you don't allow it to break you, you rather turn it to a catalyst for growth. People will be ready to listen to that stuff. Yeah. So with what you just said, I have derived a topic for maybe our next event, our next seminar or further event. Pressure, the catalyst for exponential growth. Really, really wonderful.
It depends on how you handle that pressure. You must have the right attitude. You must have the right attitude. Put on the right attitude. Put on the can-do spirit. Continue to see the end. Don't take your focus, your gaze off where you are going. If you have the right attitude, you will overcome that challenge. And seek for help wherever needed.
Seek for help wherever needed. And a man who asks questions don't meet truth. You have heard it. Thank you so much, ma. I gradually will draw the curtain now. We have engaged you. I believe you have other load of activities to engage on. But before we let you go finally, the Christian Bible says that it's not by might, and neither is it by power. In fact, the Bible said, I have seen the mighty who are not successful. And as a young person, as I journey in life, I see many hardworking people die miserably in poverty. I see people who are not as hardworking becoming very successful. I see people who are highly disciplined. There are no hidden wage. There are people, if you say 1 o'clock, they will be there 2 minutes before 1. They are not hidden wage. But I see people who don't even have value for time becoming great. I see people who don't have rest, who don't have organized way of work, becoming very successful. And you see people who can organize themselves, their house, their activity. If you go to their house or their office, the cup is where the cup should be. The glass is where the glass should be. The water is where the water should be, but are not successful. My first question on this, and this is where we are rounding up, is what is success to you personally? What will you call success as a Christian? And are there some formulas for success? Those are the 3 questions in one. What is success for you personally? What is success as a Christian? What are the formulas? Are there some button? Are there some key about this thing called success? Which one did you use your personal level?
Thank you very much, Benson. What is success? As we're asking that question, I wanted to ask you that question. That, well, what you're saying depends on what you define as success. Success to you may not be success to me. Some people, success may be being wealthy. Some other people, success may be making life better for other people without them necessarily having so much money in their bank account stored up. For instance, a Mother Teresa would say she was successful. Some people will see Mother Teresa as very successful. She lived her life making life better for other people, not amassing wealth in a bank account. You understand? Some other people would say, oh, having so much money and leaving a lot of money behind for his or her, for their children is success. So for me, success is, being able to accomplish, fulfilling your purpose and being able to accomplish set goals. That's success for me. I said earlier on that what is it that will make me fulfilled in the course of my career? And I said to you that when I have done things that will outlive me, and I see that those things are working, for me, that is success. Leaving a positive and impactful legacy. For me, that is success. When you do that, you are building into the future of the next generation. That is success for me. Is there a formula, sex formula to become a successful person in life? Well, there are some fundamental things that, one needs to focus on if you must be successful in life. You must understand, you must be a purposeful person. You must understand purpose. You must Yes, understand purpose in whatever phase of life that you are. What am I doing here? What drives me? Am I doing this thing because others are doing it? What do I want to accomplish? So you must be able to define those things properly. Am I just following the Joneses? Or I'm here because I want to do this. I want to achieve this. I want to make life better for other people. I want to make money. I want to be the most wealthy. I want to be the wealthiest person on earth. Like the guy that just bought Twitter. You know? So you must be able to understand purpose in whatever phase of life that you are. That is number one. Number two, you need to be focused, because there'll be a lot of distractions that may want to take your focus off that which is your purpose, which is your goal. So you need to stay on and be focused. You need to always come back and be focused. I said earlier on that you need to put on a can-do spirit, because there'll be challenges along your way. These are some of the things that must be in place for you to achieve success. A can-do spirit. You must believe you can make it. And when you need direction, you seek direction, because you will get to some point where everything will just go blurry. You may not know the next step to take. You must ask questions, seek direction, seek knowledge. Mentorship will be important at this point. And above all, for Christians, seek the direction of the Holy Spirit, because there is nothing too small for the Holy Spirit to give you direction on. Seek direction from the Holy Spirit. He's our teacher. He's the greatest teacher. He can tell us things we don't know, you know. And when you are given instructions and you are guided, act on the instructions, and act on the instructions promptly. Do not procrastinate. The reason why some people fail is because they procrastinate. They don't act on time, and time waits for nobody. So act on instructions promptly. Don't procrastinate. They say to us that procrastination is a thief of what? Time. And anything that steals your time has stolen your life, because your time is your life. The time we have spent here together today, going to about 2 hours now, we can't rewind and spend it again and have that time again. It's gone, it's gone. Your time is your life. So don't procrastinate. Do whatever you need to do on time. And then put up a positive attitude. A positive attitude, and understand that you are on a journey. You are on a journey. So don't be too hard on yourself when things don't work the way you want it to work. Keep at it. Keep at it. Keep at it. Keep at it until you make it. That is success. Have that staying power. Keep at it. That is success. Many successful people today will tell you that they failed many times, but they did not give up. They kept at it. They kept at it. What people see is the glory. They see them shine. But many people don't know their story. They don't know when they failed and when they were not in the limelight. So keep at it. So those are some of the things that the building blocks and the formula for success that, I can quickly highlight. You are on a journey.
Everybody, I hope you hear that last word. You are on a journey. So if you are traveling from Lagos to Ibadan and you go to redemption camp and your tire burst, you need to fix it. Don't come to Lagos. Thank you very much, ma. Honestly, we can't thank you enough. Thank you so much out of your busy schedules and activities to give us this opportunity to come share your life experience with you. If nobody at all, you have blessed me greatly and it's worth the investment. I think my note is full, both back and front, and I'm going to definitely reveal them. And I see people are blessed. Please, for those of you who are still here in the program, can I have a thank you to our guest speaker today? Please, some thank you to her. Thank you very dearly. We look forward to more of you at a higher level, and all you do, may our dear Lord reward you openly. Thank you so much. Looking up to you, you inspire us. The only way we will pay you for now is to be best children to you, so that you will not have a reason to be sleepless over any of us and do unthinkable things. If we are to do unthinkable things, it should be in a good way where you will be happy to come and show off with us. Thank you so much. We appreciate you and extend our thanks to our Father too, who give you the opportunity. If you wake up this morning and say, I'm sorry, we can't do this, we can't do it. So thank you, Daddy, that we celebrate him for the opportunity to have you this morning. A Success Bread team, they are happy and excited to be part of this and to have you to give them the word of knowledge. Please keep them coming. Appreciate our guest speaker so dearly. So thank you. That is where we draw the curtain. If there is a final word or a sentence, you could leave it. But if not so, this is where we must drop the curtain.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's been time judiciously spent with you guys. And I wish you all the very best. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you once again, Ma. You are a wonderful person. May our dear Lord keep you for us stronger and better. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, each and every one of you, for your presence in this event today. This has been Success Bread Annual Seminar, reaching you live and direct from Lagos, a commercial city here in West Africa. My name is Benson Adima, a team lead from Success Bread team, who we are committed to give you practical ideas and informations that will help you to better your life immediately. We have a team of young men, Moses Adeniji, we have John Ipu, we have Israel Cosmos, we have John Ida, we have Lady Femi, and we have Lady Veronica Etebe. And thank you to our sponsors organization, once again, spotlighted for everyone to see, as those of you who are also participating at the YouTube, those of you are also participating on this program at the Facebook, and those of you who will watch this program later, we thank you all. We appreciate you. We're just telling you and reassuring you that we love you all, and this information will be useful to catapult you to the level you never imagined possible. Rodine, thank you. Agbenda Media, thank you. Femi Mart, thank you. Basil Health, thank you. Making the Eagle, thank you. Polyam Limited, thank you. Fullchem Fashion House, thank you. And Biophi Technology Limited, thank you all. This is where we draw the curtain, and we look forward to see you physically at number 15B, Kasumu Street, Shangisha, beside Magodo here. Tomorrow, that physical event is a birthday banquet and a business lunch. Look forward to engage you there live and direct. And also we have our international friend, Andre Massan, all the way from United States of America, who will be joining us live by 2 p.m. tomorrow on Zoom. Don't miss that. The link will be sent this night ahead of time after the actual event with her, who will go into the business launching menu. Thank you. It's been my birthday tomorrow. These are all part of the activities to do that. Thank you once again. Thank you to our guest speaker once again. We can't thank you.